Hello, welcome to ArtTutorialsOnline.com. My name is Paul Priestley and this is the first in my series on pen and ink drawing. We're going to start from absolute beginning. We're going to start with a pen like this one. We're also going to do some work with a pen like this one, a standard dip pen, and we're also going to use a piece of stick, which I've just carved myself, into a pen. Now, we're going to concentrate first of all in this video on the use of line. So, let's make a start. To start our drawing, I'm going to be using an Edding 1800 pen. The details can be in the description below. I'm also using Winsor-Newton black drawing ink with a very simple dip pen. You can get these quite cheaply from most art shops. But if you can't do that, I've simply got a stick here. Make sure it's nice and dry and just carve it to a point and give it a flat end. We're going to start then with the Edding pen, the manufactured pen. You notice here I'm just simply drawing lines. Don't make them too neat and perfect, but if you're simply drawing lines and shading using lines, this is known as hatching. Now, you'll notice also that as I use different pens, you get a different quality of line. And this is the whole point about using pens for pen and ink work. It's the quality of line that you produce that is important. You can see here, sometimes the ink runs out slightly, sometimes you get blobs of ink. All of that enhances the drawing. So don't try and get rid of it, because it doesn't work. You'll also notice if you put lines very closely together and then widen them apart, it makes things look slightly curved. Now the stick produces some really interesting lines here, as you can see. Look how sometimes you get this almost dual line because of the way the ink drags on the bit of wood that you've carved. Lines that go across, as you can see I'm doing here, is known simply as cross-hatching, which is fairly obvious. Again, look at the quality of the line though. Look at how bold this is when you use the dip pen, and notice the difference when I use my stick. Very bold, very strong. You'll also notice the way that I use the pens. Use them very boldly and dramatically. It makes things look so much more interesting. Now we're just going to draw a very simple shape. You notice I just flick the pen round to do the oval shape, and now I am doing the hatching down one side of the item. Notice I'm getting very, very close and then getting wider apart. And have you noticed how it makes the object look curved? It's quite impressive. So just widen the lines. It makes such a difference. Do the same here. Start very closely and then get wider. And it makes the surface look curved. I'll use my ink now, use a dip pen, we'll do the same sort of thing. Now when we're doing the curve at the top, again just a nice flick. There you see. Just go round in one movement, don't fiddle. Fiddling doesn't work. That's it, nice and simple. Again, lines coming down, nice and close together and gradually getting wider apart. Now try not to make the lines look too straight. If they're slightly jagged, it gives a bit more interest to the drawing. Makes it look a bit more like humans drawn it rather than being a manufactured graphic image you get off the internet. They're just boring. This has got individuality to it, and this is what we want. Look at this now with a pen. Whoa, straight round in one go. Down, nice curve at the bottom, but look at the difference. You notice the line at the bottom, how it's thick at one end and gets slightly narrow at the other. Makes it look so much more interesting. Again, we do the lines, vertical lines getting slightly wider apart. It gives it that interesting effect. Now we're going to do a little bit of cross-hatching here, and you'll notice I'm simply curving around the surface. I'm going almost at right angles to the original lines. The angle of the line's not really that important, but in this particular case I'm just going round at right angles, as you can see, but making sure the lines curve around the surface. Same with the other pen here. But look, you see this pen, it produces much thicker lines. The lines don't look quite so manufactured as they do with the real pen. Having the dip pen, the line, because of the pressure on the nib, causes the lines to vary a little bit, which makes them much more interesting to look at. Then when we start with the piece of stick. Look at this. You see, you can just flick around. Makes it look so much more dramatic, doesn't it? Really good. I like the stick. Costs absolutely nothing. And again, here, now we've put a little bit of shadow on here, just flicking out the pen, and again, a little bit of cross-hatching. You see, be bold with it. Now, you can cross-hatch to your heart's content. You see, if I put another layer on there, it creates a slightly darker section. So you can create some structure and form to your drawing by building up layers of cross-hatching to build up the tone. And that's what you do here. Again, notice how I'm just flicking out. And notice how that makes the drawing look so much more interesting than being too neat and tidy and precise. Again, a little bit of cross-hatching down the side there. Looking good, you see? Just gives it that little bit of three-dimensionality. Ooh, there's a good word. So, we'll start finally then with the stick. We'll go down the side again, just flicking out. You see, just flicking out very, very quickly. Very nicely done. That's it. Nice and bold. The bolder you are with this, the quicker you do it, often the better it looks. You see, if you fiddle around and try and make things look too perfect, it doesn't work. Give some character and individuality to your drawings, as you can see here. Look at the different quality of line that you get with the 3 different pens. Wonderful. Hope you've enjoyed the drawing. Thank you for watching Art Tutorials Online. I hope you've learned something about how to use line in pen and ink drawing. If you want to learn more about pen and ink, please check out the rest of my pen and ink series. If you're interested in other drawing videos designed for beginners, check out my YouTube channel where you'll find lots of helpful videos. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you're interested in supporting the production of these videos, then please check out my Patreon channel. See you in the next video.